Hello guys, Zueljin here. Welcome to another episode of Minecraft Indoors. Today I want to show you a couple of bedroom designs that I came up with. Typically I only do one build at a time for Minecraft Indoors, but the first one's going to be really short. As a precursor to the episode, forgive me for what I would call the inferior design. It didn't come out quite as nice as I'd like to for the first one. The second one did though, so just stay tuned. The first one, I wanted something that was Indian inspired, and it actually came out a little bit different. I really don't know what you call it, but you may be able to pull some inspiration out of it, so here we go. This is the bedroom design that I came up with. Now, I decided to do a little carpet. The yellow may not be the most Indian type deal, but it did match a little bit with the paintings and some of the wall colors and textures that I found in the build. I decided to do like a almost like a curtain deal, almost if some sort of Arabic type influence. I used the light brown stained glass panes to go above, and I did this little runner on top for like the kind of like the curtain rod or the frame. The ceiling I went with a two-level design and did kind of like a little chandelier here, and on the side I just did a small like dresser area with some cabinets. I actually must have missed this piece of wool carpeting, but yeah, it's a little cabinet set with a couple of mirrors and this nice painting from the Vortex fanware pack. The centerpiece of the room naturally is the bed. In the bed I did a sunken design with the yellow wool and the snow for the pillows, and I did a couple of chests at the end of the footboard, and the headboard was pretty terrific. I did like the way the headboard came out at all. I saw a nice design of a real intriguing headboard on the internet when I was looking at photos for some inspiration, and I came up with this. It's not exactly what I saw naturally because it's hard to do that with blocks and half blocks, but I did really like the design, and on the sides of it I just did like some shelving. Really can't put nothing there because of the fact that it was all wool carpeting, and that actually takes up a portion of the block, but you get it. I did a couple of recessed lights in the back to kind of shed some light when you look at something like this in Moody. It really does change the appearance of it at night, and a couple of bookcases on the opposite wall of the painting centerpiece. So it came out pretty good. Maybe a couple fence posts here for some torches, and a little divot up top where the stairs were, so that I can get just the furniture piece going on. And now we'll actually switch to the second room, and I'll show you what I came up with. Alright guys, so we're back, and we are in what's much more of a modern bedroom. I wanted to do something that had a little younger feel to it, not so executive or classy like I usually do, but still with some real clean looks. So this is the design that I came up with. Now, for furniture pieces, before we get to some of the main design elements, I just decided to go with the dark oak because it matched the bed frame, and I did like a small chest of drawers here with a television on top and a little lamp. I did the small dresser as well, like another small dresser, and maybe like a little filing cabinet or a shelving unit, a drawer unit of some sort, almost like a nightstand. On this side I actually did do a nightstand with a little piece of Kleenex or a Kleenex holder on top of it. I used a player head for it. It works well in this pack, so sooner or later I might start using custom player heads, but for now we'll stay simple. The windows that I really liked, I wanted to do something that emulated like a shade that was in it, and these did a really wonderful job. I just used snow blocks on the outside of full glass blocks, so we went with the two-layer walls again, and the ceiling I chose to do a vaulted ceiling. I kind of stole the design that I did from my Indian inspired bedroom, if that's what you want to call it, that you just saw for the ceiling here. Almost like maybe a ceiling fan, not so much of a huge light fixture, but something that just matched with the room to put off some light. And on this side, I wrapped this, I guess you would consider it a portion of the wall just around the room on two sides, and kind of like a bench seating area here in front of the window with a couple of accompanying paintings on the outside and a stereo in this corner. Did a little inset shelf design here with a couple of flowers, and the bed is probably my favorite portion of this entire video that you're gonna see. I wanted a real modern looking bed, something that was big enough to really do what I wanted to do with a bed, but the frame itself is probably makes the bed look a little small, which would kind of indicate that it's not something king size for adults, maybe like a teenager. I did the hardened clay as a portion of the headboard and just wrapped this little design around to go with the footboard. I did some inset color here. I thought about doing lights, but I couldn't really do it with the half slabs the way they were, so this would just emulate light, kind of like you would see in a real modern bed. I did a small shelving unit to the side, maybe not a shelving unit, but a shelf itself, and I went with this design for the bed. You've seen this design before, most likely, but I wanted to do white pillows with gray wool as the bed itself, and I used white wool here and just put a couple pieces of white carpet on top, kind of like a blanket when a bed's well made up. So I really like the way this room came out. I mean, I'm super pleased with it, and I hope you are too. Other than that, guys, that is gonna wrap up Minecraft Indoors for today. Thank y'all so much for watching, and as always, this is Zueljin signing off. Have a good one.